everybody. Welcome to my channel, and thank you for joining. Now, in today's episode, we have the Wednesday night, the Thursday night, and the Friday night press conference just coming down. Anyway, we have a lot of drama. Okay, a lot of things have happened in these 3 days. Okay, we had 4 games, action-packed, full of drama. Okay, let's go through it all now. Now, we go to the Richmond and the Melbourne game. Now, 17 shots on goal to 20. So, even though the scoreboard says 42 to 85, we'll give Richmond some credit, but it was not good. Okay, Melbourne destroyed Richmond. The first quarter, Richmond looked good, probably the first 10 minutes. Anyway, now, the Nank. A 120. Thompson Dow had one of his breakout games, 110. Morris Rioli Jr. is having a decent season, especially his last 2 games, or last 3 games even. He's actually looking good. Scored a 96, but not Supercoach worthy. Although, keep an eye, I want to check out where he played. I haven't got the heat maps. They're not ready yet, but I just want to see where he's been playing, because he seems to be more up the ground now. So I just want to check it out. Now, Liam Baker is a possible forward for us. Scored a 95. It wasn't too bad of a game. Could have actually scored more, but the problem is Richmond don't get much of the ball, so he didn't do well. Now, going further down, Shai Bolton had a quiet game, 67. Even kicked a goal at 67, so that's not a good score, okay? So his price is going to drop. If it gets down to about 450k, I'm going to be very interested in Shai Bolton, because he's going to give you these 60s, but he's also going to give you the 130s that we've been seeing. So he's a good player to get. About 450k, I'll be looking for him. Now, Hopper, he went down, and looks like a 2 or 3 week hamstring injury. So his replacement possibly could be the rookie, McAuliffe. So we'll see how that goes. Now, Lafau, Young, they're 2 rookies that some people have. They did okay. Their cash making is going to continue. Dustin Martin, not Supercoach worthy this year. Scores a 60. No interest at all with Dusty. And Nace Smith scored a 44. Okay, that's not good. So it's a very bad. So probably going to be he might not even play next week. We'll see how it goes. Although he did have 9 hitouts. Nank had 15 hitouts. There's not many hitouts. There's 24 there. 20 and only 50 hitouts total. That's not much. So it must have been a free-flowing game from the looks of it. And if you've got Seth Campbell, it's maybe time to move him on now. That's about his break-even, and so it's time to go. Now, we go to Melbourne, and we go to Max Gawn, 162. Now, a lot of people vice-captained him, okay? If you did, you're very happy on Wednesday night. 162, even though I'm a Richmond supporter, we lost. I was still happy because I had Gawn just coming down. Anyway, so Gawn's got a 162. Going further down now, Petrarca, 93. That's not good. He played against Richmond. A lot of the players that play. I mean, Yo scored a 150 against Richmond. Steele scored 140. Petrarca 93 against Richmond. That was a shock. No one expected this. Some people actually vice captain Petrarca ahead of Gawn, expecting a big game. It didn't happen. So yeah, very disappointing. And going further down, we look at Clayton Oliver, even more disappointing. An 82, only 22 touches. He actually had disposal efficiency at 77, which is not bad for him. But still, an 82, that's terrible. And going further down, there's not much here. I mean, we'll go further up now. Okay, where is he? Howes, an 87. Now, a lot of us traded out Howes to Klossy or to Messi, so we were happy with that trade. But going back now, maybe we should have kept Howes and traded out Reed, okay? But at the time, Howes didn't look good. Anyway, we traded him out. If you've got Howes, you're a very happy person right now. And Jack Billings is doing what Jack Billings does. Okay, he's a spud. Scored 59. Is it not good? Laurie came on for one quarter. Scored a 19. 34 fantasy points. He actually did okay. 2 goals for 19. How does that work out? And that's pretty much it. I suppose they got Woden there as a rookie. Scored a 57, so it wasn't too bad. But not much to report on. And Callum Windsor, a 69, is not too bad, but he's got subbed out again. That's disappointing for the people that still own him anyway, because he could have gone much better. Anyway, the only exciting news out of this game was the max score was 162, and the fact that Petrarca's price is going to plummet, and Oliver is going right down in price. I don't even know if I'm interested in Oliver, to be honest. I don't even know if I'm interested in Petrarca. Okay, Petrarca 93 against Richmond, that's terrible. Anyway, let's move on. We go to the Essendon and the Magpies game. Now, at Essendon, not many have Andrew McGrath, but Zach Merritt, a 127, had a big game. Okay, now, obviously the game was a draw. Now, 127, not bad. Darcy Parish, a 125. Now, Darcy Parish, let's have a look at his price. Now, Darcy Parish is going to be 493k roughly. If he scores a 110 the following week, or next week, goes up to 508. It's still very attainable. So Darcy Parish, they're virtually giving him away. Okay, very cheap. So if you're interested in a Darcy Parish, he's there for the taking, and I'm very interested. Although next week I've got a few issues to solve, so I probably can't get him next week because I'm going to go through the issues in a minute. So if you are on the hunt for a midfielder, that's your boy. Okay, I labelled him as the weapon, one of the weapons at the start of the year. Originally it was Rowell as the weapon, and then I sort of changed my mind to Parish, then went back to Rowell again, and I was stuck with Rowell. But Parish was looking good pre-season. The reason I like him a lot, let's go back to his stats. He gets a lot of these free pointers, okay? A lot of picks up the ball off the ground, hand passes, a lot of little contested stuff. Like here, you got 10 contested possessions, which isn't much, okay? But he gets a lot of the loose ball gets. He's actually quite good. Got his 5 tackles, 18 kicks, 7 handballs. He's always making space to get the kick. So I like him a lot. Now, looks like he's now recovered from his injury and he's ready to fire up. Again, you can give him another week, see how he goes, and then if you like what you see, then maybe you can attack out and get him. Now, the spud, Nick Martin. Now, he's very painful to watch. I virtually close my eyes when the Essendon game's on, when it gets next to Nick Martin. I'm too scared. I'm scared he's going to get hurt, okay? He's making me very scared, okay? But the thing with Nick Martin, in that last quarter, he was struggling to get to 100. He was on 75, I think it was, at three-quarter time. So I thought maybe he'll get 100, okay? Maybe, I think it could have been on 80, I can't remember. But in the last quarter, they moved him forward, which is even worse, okay? Now we've got problems. But the thing was, he scored 50 points up forward. Ended up with 30 touches. He had 10 touches till half-time. He got 20 touches in the second half. So he actually had a big second half. So we'll see how Nick Martin goes. Now, unfortunately, he can't get a forward DPP. But anyway, Caldwell is looking good as a forward option. The only thing that worries me is that they got a few players to come back. They got Setterfield. Who else they got? They got Setterfield, and they got one more. They got another smaller. I forgot his name. Okay, they got one more coming anyway. So Caldwell, I'm not sure if he's forward material. He's still cheap. So if you're game enough to get him as a pod, it's not a bad option. I'm probably going to pass. Also got the round 14 bye. I've got too many players that I want in that round 14 bye. Now, going further down, Stringer, 94, had midfield time. Had his old roll back. Let's have a look at Stringer's price. Well, it's actually a very awkward price. It's at 344k. I don't think I'm interested in Stringer. If it was about 250k, I might have been interested. About 344k, it's a bit a very awkward price. Now going down further down at the Bombers, that's pretty much it. There's no one else. The Red Man had a lot of kick-ins, not scoring this year. That's about it at Essendon. Now we move over to the Magpies. Now at the Magpies, there's only one player that we're interested in, and that's this boy here, Nick Dacos. Again, he wasn't tracking too well, scoring very poorly in the first half. In the second half, especially in the last quarter, he went nuts. Okay, so a 128, kicked a goal. That goal was worth, I think, close to 20 points, that one goal was. So he did well for us. So we're happy with Nick Dacos for now. Okay, he's a bit scary to watch because a lot of people own him. It's not that scary. Whereas with Nick Martin, he's sort of like a pod. Okay, so it's a bit scarier to own Nick Martin. Anyway, and Darcy Cameron, back down to earth now, 54 this week. So is it not good if people are interested in Darcy Cameron? And De Goey 75. Some people were looking at him. We now go over to GWS and the Brisbane Lions. And this game was big, okay, for Supercoach. And Tom Green, okay, now if you can recall, I made him go to Myers, hold up a sign saying I'm a spud. Well, it didn't work because last week he was still a spud, but it must have worked this week because he's got a 159, 160 close to, 37 touches, back to his best again, and had a tough opponent. Like Brisbane Lions aren't the easiest to score. They're actually the hardest to score against. So that's not bad. Now, Josh Kelly, not Supercoach relevant, but Lockie Whitfield for the owners. He had a 70-odd last week and then a 125 this week. So he's up and down like a yo-yo. But this week was a big game for him. 22 kicks, 9 handballs. Massive game. And is there anyone else at GWS? Let's have a look. Let's go down the list. Well, we got Harvey Thomas. Some week is a good, some week is a not good. Okay, now this week he's a very good. So 76, I think last week was 20-odd. So he's one of those weird players. He's either going to go big or small. You're too scared to field him. Now, Darcy Jones, the rookie, 75. He looked really good. But the problem is, Toby Green's back. So next week, who does Darcy Jones? Well, Darcy Jones replaced Toby Green, I think. So we'll see if he holds his spot. Could be a sub-risk, but it looked good. Cadman, it's time to let him go next week. 53. Break-evens dropped even further down now, so it could be very close to time to let him go. And Weir as well, both of them. Cadman and Weir, if you still got them, I got Cadman, but both of them, it's nearly time to go. Now, at the Lions, Dunkley is under the radar. With the round 12 bye, a lot of people have avoided him, but he's going along nicely. 120. If you go further down, there's Lockie Neal, 71. That's terrible. Okay, now let's have a look at Lockie Neal's price. Now we're using Moira's Magic's app here, and if you want to get this app, you go to moirasmagic.com.au. Okay, and you'll see it there. Now, with Lockie Neal scoring a 71, he's dropped down to 588k. He's going to drop even further down in the next 2 weeks if he goes at 110s, down to about 545k. That's a good bargain. Okay, now the problem is the round 12 bye, so you don't want to really get him in round 9, and then he's going to play 2 games, then he's going to be off. So you're sort of hoping then, if he scores 110s till round 11, okay, you'll still get him about 550k. So you could pick him up after his bye, about 550k, if he goes at 110s every week. So that's not bad. Now, before the game started, I had Zorko in my team. Okay, I was going to start him. I was very happy. Okay, but I was starting to get cold feet. Something inside me was saying that don't get him. Okay, even though we had in the team, we saw McKenna line up. Okay, I knew McKenna was coming, but Zorko, when they did team sheets came out, it was forward pocket. Now, Zorko's been named in a forward pocket every single week, so that didn't make a difference. But something inside me just said, don't get him this week. Don't do it, okay? So I put it up on Twitter. I said, Zorko out. They changed it up as Magic. Zorko out. Tunstall out. Because Tunstall was named a sub, so I had to get him out, okay? And I brought in McRae and Garcia from the Dogs, okay? Because we trust Bevo now. Okay, Bevo and I have become good mates, okay? We had a coffee. And I said to Bevo, look, I want McRae to play in the midfield. I said, just calm it down. Anyway, we'll see what's happening. Hopefully Garcia's not the sub, but it doesn't matter. I've committed now. It's too late. There's no one else to bring in. So I'm stuck with both of them, McRae and Garcia. Now, if Zorko goes at 110s, he's going to be attainable any time, around about 530k mark. So now there's no rush to get Zorko. We can just watch him and see what his role's going to be. Because 56 has just stopped him. Okay, and if he scores another bad game, let's say an 80, then his price just plummets under 500k. So let's keep an eye on Zorko. He could be a last upgrade if he gets that defensive role back. But at the moment, his role's no good. Looks like a forward and a bit of defensive role. So not full-time defence like before. So I didn't like what I saw. We now go to the Port Adelaide and St Kilda game. And this was carnage, okay, for a lot of people. Now, we've avoided carnage. I don't know how we did it, okay? Let me show you something. Now, I put up a tweet. It says here, Abs Magic avoiding all the carnage this week. Now, we've got no Rosie, no Steele, no Marshall, no Butters, no Reed, no Zorko, no Bolton, no Massimo. Also, I've got to add in there, no Stewart, and no Wangani Milera. Okay, we've avoided all of them. How was that even possible? Okay, we did it. Anyway, the problem is we've still got our spots to play. Okay, so they haven't performed yet. So it could be the same thing anyway. But at the moment, we've avoided all this. Okay, and it's like bingo now. Okay, you just got to avoid bullets flying at you now. Now, Jordan Sweet was named to play because they lost their ruckman, Soldo. And if you can recall, start of the year, I wanted to start Sweet, but Soldo took the honours and took the job. But Sweet come back hard, 136. Next week, I'm trading out. I hate to say this, okay, but I'm going to be trading out Sherry, okay? I have no choice. So Sherry comes out. Even if Sherry scores a 150, I don't know what to do. I mean, how do you knock back a 136 on a weekly basis? His opponent was Marshall. Okay, Marshall looked a bit injured, but still, it's Marshall. But anyway, I'll work it out during the week what I'm going to do. I just hope Sherry scores like a 110, okay? So it makes me feel a bit better. I don't want to see a 150. Anyway, so Sweet, 136 has to come in next week to everyone's team. Okay, you have to all get him. Put him at R3 or R2. I'm not fast. Now, some people might even have him at R1. Okay, if he averages 136. If you don't have Gorn. Now, Ollie Wines scored a 110. He was actually their best and drew 114. Now, Wines was on 50 at three-quarter time. He scored 60 points in that last quarter. Houston, 107. And the owners would actually be upset with that 107 because Houston against St Kilda, last week Dale scored 175. A lot of teams score big against St Kilda, so Houston didn't get the honours because Kane Farrell, right next to him, scored 99, so they both shared it. And Farrell was having a picnic because Burton was out, so pretty much Farrell and Houston both went nuts together. The Horny Man had a good game, 97. Okay, so if you've got the Horny Man, you're happy with 97. Connor Rosie injured and looks like a hammy. Okay, and possible 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It looked more than a 1 week hammy. So I'd say probably, and I'm not a doctor, okay, but maybe 2 or 3 weeks. Going down, Butters, an 82. This was disappointing. Now, he had 27 touches, but the problem was he went at 63%, kicked the ball to like 98 fantasy points, 82 Supercoach points. So he hacked it, okay? But it's still the same Butters. He just didn't do the job this week. Now, actually, let's have a look at his price. Well, an 82 this week drops him down to 630k. However, if he scores 110 every single week after that, you're looking to get him after his bye, about 570k. Now, that's not bad for Butters. I'm very interested, okay? So, we'll see how he goes. If he goes at 110, he'll be 570k-ish, around that mark. Now, there's another player here, Jesse Burgoyne. He scored a 117. I had a friend of mine, actually, Supercoach Pro, was asking about Burgoyne, and I told him don't get him. Okay, he's going to hate me now. He's probably watching this. He's going to shoot me. Okay, now, I apologise to my friend Brad, Supercoach Pro, but I just didn't think it was worth it at 250k, but I was wrong. He had 27 touches. He went nuts. So, Jesse Burgoyne, it was a gamble, okay? It was a big gamble, very hard to gamble when it's upgrade season and you're getting in all your primos, because you could get a rookie for 123k and get a primo for 550, or you can pay for or you can pay for Burgoyne, but unfortunately it didn't work out because he probably took my advice. Anyway, going further down, we talked about Houston, we talked about Butters. That's pretty much it with Port Adelaide. Now, at St Kilda, Jack Sinclair. Now, Jack Sinclair actually looked okay today. He looked good. A 1-1-3 player, had a bit of mid-time. Looks like he's coming back to his best. But I still don't like it because of the fact that we got Jack Sinclair at 1-1-3. We got Wangari Milera at 82. We got Bonner at 66. Bonner, 66. I thought he was better than that. He had 20 kicks and 2 handballs. He went at 50%. Bonner. Okay, that's terrible. Anyway, but Sinclair is a gamble, okay? Because of the fact that there's 3 of them sharing the same job. Going further down, at St Kilda, Darcy Wilson, 88. Now, I had him on the bench, because why would I field Darcy Wilson when I can field Garcia? Okay, so I had Garcia on field, okay? Because Garcia scored a 40. Why would I want to have an 88? Just come it down! Anyway, that's what happened. But I got the emergency on Wilson in the midfield, so I'm going to probably take Wilson's score now and put Messi on the bench. Wangani Milera, an 82, very disappointing. Last week it was disappointing. Let's have a look at his break-even now, or even his price. Well, with the 82, it drops down to 485k. But then if he scores 100s, it doesn't drop much more. It's going to be still an awkward price. I don't think he's top 6. I don't even know if he's top 8 now. So, probably a pass. Looks like Sinclair has absolutely destroyed his scoring. We now go to Jack Steele. Now, Jack Steele, 70. He doesn't look like the same Jack Steele that you saw 2 weeks ago. His knee heavily strapped. He's not running hard for the ball. He looks very slow. Even his tackles. I mean, he had 9 tackles. 9 tackles, that's 36 points. That's half his score came from tackles. Now, that's not a good sign, okay? When you're a midfielder, half your score comes from tackles. That's a very bad, because he went at 60%. So, you got 15 touches and you're going at 60%. That's really bad, okay? I don't know what to tell you with Jack Steele. You can't trade him out, surely. You had him as your top 4 midfielder. He was averaging 130 2 weeks ago. Now he's scoring 70s. Let's have a look at his price. Now, Jack Steele's price is going to get dropped down to 600k this week. If he scores a 115 2 weeks in a row, drops to 550k in round 9. That's close to his starting price. If he scores a 110, let's give him 120, all right? 120 next 2 games. Not much difference. Still 554k. That's a bargain coming up. Okay, but are you interested? Okay, now, if he's going to play like the way he's been playing the last 2 weeks, no. If he plays like the way he played before the last 2 weeks, yes. So which version of him are you going to get now? Because last year, if you can recall, let's have a look at Jack Steele last year when he was injured. Well, the scoring is still there some weeks, okay? You got your 80s, you got your 130s. That's an injured game, all right? Back to an 80, 50, 90, 80, 140. he's on and off. Keep in mind, last year it was a shoulder injury, so he couldn't tackle. So those extra 30 points aren't there. All right, so he can get those extra 30 points. So that 86 could be a 110. Okay, so it's not as bad as it looks. I would just wait and just see what he's going to do. He has to get better. It's probably a sore knee from the looks of it. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. Okay, I don't know what's wrong with him. But if it's his movement for now, he's an inside mid. It doesn't matter. Just gonna get the ball and pass and dish it out. He's not gonna get those cheap kicks now. That's the only thing. He probably still will, but just not the same Jack still you're gonna have that scored you these scores this year. Let's go this year. What has he scored you? 119, 120, 126, 142, 143. Okay, these are good scores. You become a top 4, then all of a sudden you're not even a top 10. Okay, it's incredible how the game just turns on you. Anyway, just hold and see what happens with Jack Steele. Okay, now if you still got Riley Bonner, let him go. It's not working out. Okay, if you haven't got rid of him yet, get rid of him. Now if you got Marshall, okay, now if you got Marshall, he scored 63. The first gamer, first full game as a solo ruckman, sweet, 155k, scored a 136. That's 70 extra points. Jordan Sweet on his own virtually scored the same as Marshall and Steele put together. Actually outscored them both on his own. Okay, now I would highly consider trading out Marshall to Sweet next week. Okay, for me, I have to do it with Sherry, and Sherry I actually like better than Marshall. Now with Marshall, if for some reason, let's say Soldo has a miraculous recovery, okay, and decides to come back, now how much would it cost you to go from Sweet to Marshall? Let's have a look. Well, Marshall's going to be priced very soon at about 500k. Now that's bargain basement for Marshall. Now, problem with Marshall is they were talking about some kind of meningus injury. Okay, well, Doctor, what's his name, Brian Taylor was saying this. Now we don't know if Brian Taylor is a very good doctor. Okay, but that's what he was saying. So if he's got a I can't even say the word, meniscus injury, he's probably going to be out for 5 weeks anyway. So who's St Kilda's next ruckman if they lose Marshall? They're probably going to test him out this week, see if he's any good. So if he's out, who's next in line? Let's have a look. Well, they got Tom Campbell. Okay, he's 123k. And they got Max Heath, 123k. Now, I don't know much about Max Heath. I don't know if he's injured, if he's playing. I have no idea. But I know Campbell is available. Okay, so have to see. Maybe Campbell makes a debut. We'll find out. But unfortunately, Campbell's ruck only. So let's see how that goes. Because Marshall looks like he needs a hand. Last week, he had a bad score. 51 last week. 63 this week. It's just not doing it. 112 points in 2 weeks. That's terrible. Now, going further down, who else is here? People were talking about Bradley Hill last week. Well, he's come back down to earth, 63. That's why I can't trust these ones. That's why I can't trust Burgoyne, okay? So he could have done a Bradley Hill and scored a 63. It's just hard to predict them because they're not regular primos that we normally have. So they're unknowns. And going further down, Garcia, 40. Now, I don't even know if he's going to play next week. I have no idea. Although Higgins looks like he may cop a 1 week suspension. Okay, if he does get suspended, maybe Garcia gets another game. So we'll see how that goes. And Hasty, the rookie, he nearly outscored Garcia in just 1 quarter. Okay, 19% time on ground, nearly did it, but he actually looked good. 8 touches in that last quarter. He actually looked really good, Hasty. Anyway, let's go to our team now. Now, it says here we're projected 25-73, but you know and I know and everyone else knows that's not going to happen, okay? Because we just saw today what happens. But so far, okay, the players that have played, Green's got a 159, Gordon's got a 162 and he's vice-captain, okay? So it's double that. There's not much more. Okay, we got Dacos at 128. We got Nick Martin at 124, and on field we got two rookies, and the third one's to come. It doesn't look good. Okay, 53 for Cadman and 40 for Garcia. Okay, I didn't put the Bulldogs Garcia on in case he becomes like a sub. Okay, so I didn't use him. I didn't put Biggie on because he's a spud. Okay, I mean last week he looked terrible, so I thought Garcia might do the job. Okay, at least he tackles. It didn't happen. I should just put Wilson on the field. Now this week I got Wilson on the bench. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch Clossy with Roberts. Okay, and I'll put Clossy and Clark switch. First of all, I have to see if Clark's going to get named. Okay, so he's listed as the he's got the 4 o'clock game. Okay, and he's listed as emergency. Okay, so hopefully he doesn't play, so I can then get Wilson's score. So we'll see how that goes. Which means then that I miss out on Clossy's score. But you've got to take the 88 every day of the week. All right, so I'm taking the 88s. And that's pretty much it with this team. Now let's look at our matchups. Who we're playing against in Supercoach with DR's league. I've got Pistol. No, I've got JB. Sorry, not Pistol. JB. So I'm playing as JB, Dr. Supercoach. Scodfather Cup 1. Playing as Jason, the Dreamers. Now Jason. See, a lot of these scores here you're going to see. A lot of people have loops happening. So, for example, Jason's team probably got the loop there. You can see it's missing a player. So these scores are not realistic, okay? It could be in the 2400s, all right? So I'm just giving out the names. I can't see the scores properly, all right? So the teams I'm playing against, let's go game day again. I'm not going to look at the scores. They're irrelevant now. So we've got Dreamers, Jason from the Dreamers. We've got my boy here, Grant, Whaley Goods team. Grant, the captain, is a good boy. Another Tiger, okay? So I'm playing against Grant. Now, we're playing against Selby, and this is a danger game for me, because I know Selby's got some tricks up his sleeve. So, he's going to bounce back. I think he's going to win it. Anyway, I'm watching Selby very close. And we go down, further down. We've got the Professor. That's my boy on Twitter. That's Jim's team now. The Professor looks like he needs to do a bit of work. Okay, Jim, just do something. Now, I've got Tim... Actually, also, now my boy Tim has made a small mistake. I'm not going to show it, okay? I feel bad for him, but he made a small mistake, Tim. Now, let's go further down. And we're playing Stan. That's Chris's Scott. That's a good name. Chris's Scott, Stan. Now, Stan's going well, 24-38. Has he got hidden a jet? No, he has got no one hidden, okay? Unfortunately for Stan, he's had Steele and Butters. Okay, but fortunately for Stan, he's also had Wilson and Howe, so it sort of made up for it. Anyway, that's Stan's team. Now, going further down, we got Cooper, the Flag Pies. Okay, now it's 7th place versus the 3rd place. It's a tough game, but Cooper looks like he's got a bit of work to do, but could have that player missing as well. Now, Scodfather Cup 6. We've got the Meatloaf Mashers. That's Michael's team, and looks like Michael is having a big game as well, 24-41. Now, what's Michael done? Has he got a player missing? He's got this full team. He had Bonner, okay, unfortunately for Michael. But the good thing for Michael is he's missed out on all the carnage, okay? Had VC on Houston, so let's see who's going to be his captain. Also brought in Sweet, 136, just coming down. Anyway, he's very happy, Michael. Got the Sweet in. Now, let's go back. Okay, and we go to the last team now, and we go to Scodfather Cup 7. That's Josh's team, Flag Hawks. Now, Flag Hawks, this is 1st versus 17th. That's a close one, okay? How are you 17th if you're going to score like this? Okay, obviously, the bye rounds would have stuffed him up. Okay, not happy. Now, he's got Captain Raul. Okay, Raul could go 200. Okay, he could go... Flag Hawks, I actually hope, for your sake, that Rail goes 200 and you get 400 from Rail. Okay, this will be huge. Well, let's hope tomorrow and on Sunday we don't have the same disaster that we've seen tonight. Let's hope we get some big scores in and put some happy smiles on people's faces. Anyway, That's all for today. Thank you for joining, and remember one thing. It's nice to be important, but it's important to be nice. Ciao for now.
That's all, folks.